So question number 52, calculate the area of the shape shown. So we have the bigger circle and the smaller circle. So in order to find the area of the given figure, you have to subtract the area of the smaller circle from the bigger one. An area of a circle is pi r squared. So let's say we have a circle, the bigger circle, the smaller circle. So the radius of the bigger circle is 3, since the diameter is giving us 6. The radius of the smaller circle is 1.5. So subtracting the area of the smaller circle from the bigger one, we have pi r squared minus pi r squared. You can factorize pi out to get r squared minus r squared. So we have pi into 3 squared minus 1.5 squared. That is going to give you pi into 9 minus 2.5, which equals 6.75 pi. So that is the right answer. 53. What is 7/32 of an inch as a decimal? So you are dividing 7 by 32. So you can solve this problem by long division method. So if you have 32 out into 7, since 7 can never be divided by 32, you write a 0 point here and add 0 to it. So that will be 70. 32 goes into 72. So the moment you get to, you should predict that the answer is 0.2188, that one, because the rest is 0.3, 0.4. So you had 0.2, so you can directly predict the answer. But due to further explanation, we need to solve it completely. So 2 times 32 is 64. So you have 64 here. So 70 minus 64 will give you 6. Add 0 to it. 32 goes into 60 one time. So that is 32. 60 minus 32 will give you 28. You add 0 to it to get 280. 32 goes into 280 8 times, and it continues. So you get 0.2188. Question 54 says find the value of y. Have 1 over y plus 3 equals 3 over 2y minus 4. You cross multiply, so you're going to get 2y minus 4 equals 3 into y plus 3. So 2y minus 4 equals, you expand, so 3y plus 9 minus 4 minus 9 equals 3y minus 2y. Minus 4 minus 9 is going to give you minus 13. Minus 13 equals y. So therefore y equals minus 13. Question 55. What is the highest factor of, I'm assuming it's saying 15 and 3, but just in case, if you find something similar like this, it says what is the highest factor of 153. It's 153. The highest factor of every number is the same number, but from here I think the question is trying to say 15 and 3. So HCF, highest common factor of 15 and 3. So we are going to use prime factorization method. So we have that is 3 and 5, yeah. And for the 3, you can only give 1 and 3. Okay, so these are the highest common factors. So the answer is 3. Question 56. What is the definition of rectangular coordinate? A rectangular coordinate is 2 pair of x and y. This is a rectangular coordinate. So if you have x, y, and say x1, y1, these are rectangular coordinates. An angle and a distance is a polar coordinate. Just in case it appears that way, so these are polar coordinates. In a 3-dimensional Cartesian, it's in the form of x, y, and z. So that is the right answer here. If 2x plus 7 equals 11, then x equals 58. Complete the following sign of A. So using the Sol-Cartois principles, Sol-Cartois value of sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. So adjacent side divided by the opposite side divided by the hypotenuse. That is the right answer. The equation of the straight line graph is 16y equals 30x plus 47. 16y equals 30x plus 47. The equation of a line is in the form of y equals mx plus c. So you divide through by 16, which will give you y equals 30 over 16 x plus 47 over 16. So that is the gradient. Okay, so that is 30 over 16. So therefore m equals 30 over 16, which is going to give you, cancel it out, it's going to give you 15 over 8. A sector with angle A is subtended to the center point of a circle. Area of sector is proportional to. So if you have the area of a sector, area equals, so that's theta over 360 times pi r squared. Okay, so in this instance the angle is A, so area equals A over 360 times pi r squared. So area is directly proportional to angle A, so therefore area is directly proportional to angle A. What is the height of an oblique pyramid? The height of an oblique pyramid is perpendicular to the base. Express 9 over 20 as a percentage, so you multiply by 100. So 9 over 20 times 100 20 goes into 100, that's 5 times. That would give you 9 times 5 equal to 45%. There is 1,800 pounds of fuel in an aircraft. 25% is in the left tank and 45% in the right. How much fuel is in the center tank? So the total amount of fuel we have total equals 1,800 pounds. So 25% in the left and 45% in the right. So to find the center, that was going to be 100 minus into 25 plus 45. That will give you 100 minus 70. C, center equals 100 minus 70. It's going to give you 30%. So 30% is the amount of fuel percentage in the center tank. So in order to find amount, you multiply 30% by 1,800. That will going to give you 30 over 100 times 1,800. That goes into here. So you're going to get 30 times 18. That is going to give you 540 pounds. 3 over 5 minus 2 over 3. Well, the easiest way to go about this is use the butterfly method. So 3 over 5 minus 2 over 3. The butterfly method, you multiply 3 times 3 minus 2 times 5 all over 5 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2 times 5 is 10, all divided by 5 times 3 is 15. That is going to give you minus 1 over 15. Two lines with equations y equals 3x minus 6, y equals 3x plus 4. Let's label the equation y equals 3x minus 6 as equation 1 and the rest equation 2. So y equals 3x minus 6, that's equation 1. Y equals 3x plus 4, equation 2. So comparing both equations, you realize that they have the same gradient, which is m equals 3. Two lines with the same gradients are parallel lines. So that will be the answer. Question 66. The equivalent denary, that is base 10 number of a binary number 10100. So we have 10100 base 2 converted to base 10. Okay, you're going to multiply the base by individual numbers and you increase the power successively from 0 till the last digit. So you have 1 times 2 plus into 0 times 2 plus into 1 times 2 So now you start to increase the powers of 2. You starting from 1, starting from 0. So you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So any number multiplied by 0 is 0, 0, 2, 4. That's 0 plus 16. So 16 plus 4 gives you 20 base 10. Seven trigonometry tables can be used to find the sine, cos, and tan of angle. 68. 3 to the power 3. It's quite easy. 3 to the power 3, that means 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 gives you 9 times 3 gives you 27. A rhombus has two sets of parallel sides with so 1 inch equals 25.4 millimeters. So therefore 10 inches is going to give you 254 millimeters. 254 millimeters. Question 71. What is the area of a rectangle when its height is 11 centimeters and the width is 120 centimeters? But remember, the answers were given in meters squared, so you convert the centimeters to meters before you work this one out. So if you have a rectangle like this, so we have 120 in 11 centimeters. (1 meters). An area equals length times width. That will be 1.2 times 0.11, all in meters squared. It's going to give you 0.132 meters squared. 0.132 meters squared. Factorize the expression x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. Squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. There are only two factors. When you add them, you get minus 1, and when you multiply them, you get minus 6. And these factors are supposed to be factors of 6. So we have plus 2 and minus 3. So we have x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. Factorize x out, x into x plus 2 minus 3 into x plus 2 equals 0. So you have x plus 2 into x minus 3. (73) Two angles of a triangle are 68 degrees and 32 degrees. Therefore, the third angle must be the total interior angle of a triangle is supposed to be 180. So therefore 180 degrees minus into 68 plus 32 is going to give you 180 minus 100 degrees. That will be 80 degrees. (74) Convert 20 imperial gallons to liters. So we know 1 gallon, imperial gallon, is approximately 4.55 liters. So 20 gallons would therefore be 4.55 times 20. It's going to give you 91 liters. It's approximately, the answers that we have here is 90.92 liters. That is the right answer. In number 75, in a right angle triangle, the tangent of an angle is. So if you have a right angle triangle, let's say this is theta. So we have the opposite hypotenuse, we have the adjacent. Using the SOHCAHTOA tool, tangent tan theta will be opposite over adjacent. So in a right angle triangle, the tangent of an angle is opposite divided by adjacent. 76. If a parts department sells a part for 145 euros and has made a margin 12% margin, what was the cost price? So the selling price was given to you, selling price 145 euros, and the profit, which is the margin, is 12%. That will be the 12% of the selling price. So it will be 12% times 145. What will be the cost price? We know cost price equals selling price minus the profit. So now we have the selling price, we have the profit here, so it's going to be 145 minus 12 over 100 times 145. That will give you 145 minus 17.4, which will be 127.60 euros. Question 77. What is the cube root of minus 64? Let's say s cube equals minus 64. You cube root this side, then you cube root that side. Therefore x equals minus 4, which means x cube will be minus 64. Question 76. 5 squared times 5 cubed, all into squared. By the laws of indices, because they have the same base, you are going to add the powers and multiply by the outside bracket. So 5 squared times 5 cubed will be 5 raised to the power 5. So that will be 5 raised to the power 5 into 2. That will give you 5 raised to the power 10. The gradient of a line 5 equals 2x minus y. 5 equals 2x minus y. The equation of a line is in the form y equals mx plus b, with m being the gradient. So if you rearrange the equation in the form y equals mx plus b, you should be able to find the m. So it's going to be minus y equals 2x minus 2x plus 5. So y equals 2x minus 5. 2 is the gradient. Question 80. If minus 3 into x plus 5 equals 3, then x will be you expand the bracket, so you have minus 3x minus 3 times 5 minus 15 equals 3. So you can make it minus 3x equals 3 plus 15 minus 3x equals 18. Divide through by minus 3, here by minus 3. These 3 will cancel that. So x equals 18 over minus 3. That will be x equals minus 6. Question 81. A pinion gear with 16 teeth is driving a spare gear with 48 teeth at 120 RPM. Find the speed of the pinion gear. So let the driver gears be A. Say driver A, and the driven be B. So TA equals 16. Speed of A is not given. TB equals 48. The speed of the driven gear (120 RPM). So the teeth times the RPM supposed to be equal. So TA times NA equals TB times NB. So that will be TA times NA should be equals TB times NB. So to find NA, you divide through by TA. So that will be TA divided by TA. So therefore you have NA equals TB times NB all over TA. That will give you 120 times 48 divided by 16. 16 goes into 48 3 times. Therefore 120 times 3 give you 360 RPM. (82) What is the circumference of the top of a cylindrical tank whose radius is 3 meters? So the top of a cylindrical tank is a circle, so the circumference of a circle equals 2 pi times the radius. So you're given the radius 2 pi times 3, that will be 6 pi meters. Question 83. In an equilateral triangle, all of the angles are equal to, so the sum of angles within a triangle is pi radian, so 180 degrees. So 180 degrees equals pi radians. But since in an equilateral triangle all the angles are the same, you're going to divide pi by 3. So pi divided by 3. Question 84. What is the perimeter of a square with an area of 64 square centimeters? So area is 64 and the area of a square equals x squared per the diagram. So x squared equals 64. So therefore x will be 8 centimeters. So it tells you that one side is 8 centimeters. So the perimeter will be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. That will be 4 into 8. So the perimeter is going to be 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. That will be 4 into 8. Perimeter equals 4 times 8. That will give you 32 centimeters. A plus b all to the power 8 divided by a plus b to the power 2. Apply the quotient rule of exponents. Say if you have x to the power m divided by x to the power n, that will give you x m minus n. That is the quotient rule. So since we have a plus b to the power 8 all divided by a plus b, all divided by a plus b to the power 2, this can be rewritten as a plus b 8 minus 2. That will be a plus b 6. Is a characteristics of 5.74. So this question requires you to find the logarithm of 5.74. Log is 10 into 5.74 will give you 0.759. 0.759. So from the example given here, if you have log 10 15, you get 1.176, which equals 1 plus 0.176. So the whole number is a characteristics, the decimal or the fraction is a mantissa. So if you have the characteristics of 5.74, which gives you the value of 0.59, so their characteristics is 0 and the mantissa is 0.759. So that will be the characteristics. Quick tips here. So whenever you're finding any log of a number between between 1 and 9, it's always going to be 0 point something. some digits. Between 1 and 9 will be 0 point some digits. Yeah, so whenever you see 5.74, definitely going to be 0.759 or 0 point something or some figures. So the answer here is 0. 87. In a parallelogram, if all the sides are of equal length and one angle is 90 degrees, it is a quadrilateral. If you take a square, for instance, it has times 4 angles equals 90 degrees. If you take a rhomboid figure, they have parallel sizes, but possibly none of the angles will be equal to 90 degrees. So it's a general term for quadrilateral. If you have x, we have x equals the root of 81 plus into minus 9 minus 4 all over 8 squared plus 12 bracket close will give you the square root of 81 is 9 plus that is squared. So minus 9 minus 4 will give you minus 13. Minus 13 divided by 8 squared is 64 plus 12 is 76 all squared. That will give you 9 plus minus 13 squared is 169 all over 76 squared is 5776. Which should give you 9.029. Convert 20 liters to gallons. So we have 1 gallon equals 4.5 liters. So X amount of gallon will give you 4.5. 20 divided by 4.5. It should give you 4.4. Gallons. Three plus 4 minus 5 into 4 minus 2. It's quite simple. 3 plus 4 minus 5 into 4 minus 2 is 2. That will be 3 plus 4 minus 10. That will be 7 minus 10 equals minus 3. What is the square root of 324? X squared equals 324 That's 18. Which values below solve this equation? Into bracket 2x plus 3 equals y plus 2. So you can decide to equate each bracket to 0. So you have 2x plus 3 equals 0 and y plus 2 equals 0. Y will be minus 2 and 2x equals minus 3. So x equals minus 3 over 2. That will give you minus 1.5. And y equals minus 2. X equals minus 1.5, y equals minus 2 is the right answer. Find the square root of 1600. That will be 40 squared equals 1600. Question 94. Calculate the volume of a tank that has the following dimensions: width 160 millimeters, length 15 centimeters, depth 450 millimeters. When you look at these answers, you could see that all of them has been given in meter cube, so you have to convert the various figures into meters. So we have 160 millimeters. That will give you 0.16 meters. 0.16 meters. 15 centimeters. It's going to give you 0.15 meters. 450 millimeters. That will give you 0.45 meters. So the volume equals length times breadth times width. That will be 0.16 times 0.15 times 0.45, which will give you 0.010800 meter cube. Question 95. In the equation, r equals minus 2s plus 4, which is the independent variable. So we have two variables. So r equals minus 2s plus 4. Okay, we have the r variable, we have the s variable. So the value of r is determined by this whole function or equation, but the value of s stands independently. So s is the independent variable. In a right angle triangle, the cosine of an angle is, using the SOHCAHTOA tool, we have SOHCAHTOA. So that's the cosine. That's the cos of an angle equals adjacent over the hypotenuse. So adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. Question 97. The sine of 45 degrees is. So if you are able to memorize the triangle, that is 45 on each angle with 90 degrees as part of the angles. So we have one here, root 2 on the hypotenuse. So sine, the value of sine 45, that is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 1, hypotenuse is 2. So when you rationalize it, you're going to get times root 2 over root 2. That will give you root 2 over 2. or 1 over root 2, yeah. What is the value of 1.78 times 100 plus into 2.58 times 1000? So you can decide to expand the values. So you get 1.78 times 100 is 178, 178 plus 2.58 times 1000, you get 2580. So when you add this, you're going to get 2758, and this can be rewritten as 27.58 times 100. But to put it in a standard form, which is a standard form, it becomes 2.758 times 1000. The curved surface area of a cylinder, diameter 20 centimeters and length 20 centimeters. So the curved surface area, the cylinder, equals to pi r h. That will give you 2 pi times, you have the diameter is 20 centimeters, so that will be 10 centimeters into 10. The height is 20, so 20. You will get 10 times 20 times 2, that will be 400 pi, which is approximately 1256 centimeters squared. Question 100. What is 25 kilogram in pounds approximately? So we have 1 kg, so approximately 2.2 lbs, that's pounds. So 25 kg will be 25 times 2.2. That will give you an approximation of 55 pounds. All right, thank you very much for watching. Please look up to the part 3 of the module 1 series.